Hi there, I'm Tanya, Gold Leader with Young Living, and I'm wanting to take just a moment to tell you why I think it's worth it to come to join us this coming Friday to see Sarah Harnisch on her book tour for Game Plan. Now, first, I just want to empathize, all right? I live an hour and a half at least without any traffic away, and I know that that's closer than some and further away than others. And going at the end of a week when it gets dark at 4:30 and life is happening there's a lot of reasons that you could say no, and that would probably be easier. And something that this profession teaches me over and over and over again is that some of those sacrifices, some of those small shifts that I have to make in order to make everything else change are decisions like this. Decisions to choose to come to Jersey on Friday versus choosing not to come. So I want to take just a few moments to share how Sarah Harnisch's teachings have changed my life in the last year, and maybe it will inspire you. There's two ways. First, in the realm of my own health and well-being and how I tend to myself and my home. You know, before I knew anything about Sarah Harnisch and what she taught me, I got into Young Living because the oils were insanely supportive to my emotional body. They just made me feel better in so many different ways, and that was enough. That was all I needed to know to really run with this and allow huge changes in my life. And I noticed that the more I used the oils, the more sensitive I became to other smells and to toxins in the air, but I still hadn't connected the dots. So the first way that Sarah Harnisch changed my life was that through her insane skill set as a researcher and as an anchor for news for years and years and years, is her ability to gather amazing research and distill it into stories. So it was from Sarah that I became aware of how toxic a lot of the things that are in grocery stores are, and that encouraged me deeper into the thieves line and deeper into some of the other products like my makeup and my hair care and all of the things, and the ripple that I feel, the shift from removing chemicals from my home, even more so than I already had, has been huge. So I'm grateful for that. But as a business builder, it was just life-changing. It was just life-changing. Game Plan came into print, and I'm so blessed. One of my dynamic, extraordinary leaders, Shannon, out in Connecticut, picked up this book and said to me, Tanya, I think that we should do this as a book group. Let's read it. Let's get it done. It's, supposed to be this great training system. And she approached me in middle of May, which was right before my birthday and right before we were about to go out to convention and my sweetheart's birthday. And it's just the busiest time of year. And I thought, great, this training system, I'd been trying to get my business off the ground for years, plateaued as an executive for, I think it was about 4 years that I was executive, not able to really move it forward. And when Shannon had this idea, I said, great, Sarah's all about freedom. Let's launch it for the 4th of July. I'll go to convention, come back and get things going in the summertime. And Shannon said, no, I want to do it now. It's time. It's time now. And so, of course, if we're blessed to have enthusiastic builders on the team, it's like, right, I'll run to keep up with you. So we threw together a book group. We took it off of Sarah's boot camp, but we only had something insane, like 15 days before convention. So we were like, chapter a day, no breaks, everybody go. And we got so excited that the handful of senior stars and above that I had been working with for a long time, I think there was about 14 of us that joined together to do our variation of Sarah's boot camp. Basically just reading through Game Plan and getting on the phone now and again to talk about the different pieces. And I'm going to be honest, the book group was a total flop. The pace was insane. By day 3, half the group were feeling horrible about themselves because they hadn't been able to keep up with the reading. But we kept going, and I'll tell you, by the time we got to convention, many of us in the book group were sharing a house in Airbnb for convention. And I think there were maybe 3 of us that got as far as chapter 14, didn't get all the way to chapter 6. But we came together, we laughed it off, we let it be. And then here's where the miracle happened. Last summer, right? Summer often, not the one that just happened, but a year ago, the season that often can be a slower season for the business, all of a sudden, duplication, this magical word that I'd been studying and banging my head against, duplication started to happen. Because here's the thing, the first 14 chapters of Game Plan, just that. Sarah brings home the importance of connecting to your why, and the truth that the 3 things to do to build your business is outreach and education, teach classes, learn how to invite to get people interested and curious and wanting to have those conversations, and follow up with them. Work with them until they are empowered to change their own lives and they're aware of the way these tools work to support them. And with just those 3 things, just the first half of the book, My team's volume grew significantly from being plateaued at executive for years and years and years. We read book group in June. September achieved silver with an extra 5,000 OGV. And then 8 short months later, this team skyrocketed to gold. And that was because of this amazing training system getting into the hands of more and more people in this community. Sarah makes it so easy for those of us coming into network marketing with no experience of being an entrepreneur, perhaps little to no experience in essential oils or wellness. She makes it so easy and so clear. And the last thing that I will rave about Sarah is the way that she shines. Sarah is a luminous being. Those of us that were blessed to be together at convention 2 years ago, she spoke on a panel of diamonds, and we were literally like rubbing our eyes and joking amongst each other like, is it just me, or is there like a halo streaming out from this beautiful being? Not only did Sarah figure out a way that is really effective for building, but her generous heart decided to offer that to all of us, to give it freely, not just limit it to her team or her community. She was so generous that she's been a bestseller on Amazon for weeks and weeks and weeks in a row. She's a phenomenal writer, a brilliant spirit, and getting to be in a room with somebody who has figured out how to do it and has the heart and the mindset to share for the greater good of all beings is someone worth sitting in her glow. So if you have plans this Friday that aren't about coming to Jersey, I invite you to change your plans. And I look so forward to seeing you and giving you a hug and saying hi. Can't wait to be there together this Friday. Big love and blessings on your day.